The wife spent her days tangled with her first love. She only came home when her period arrived. She offered the man cookies her first love liked, hoping to win him over, but he only looked at her coldly and pushed the divorce papers across the table. Just then her first love called, claiming his foot hurt, asking her to come keep him company. Without hesitation she signed the papers, reminding the man not to bother her with future purchases. She didn't know, the moment she signed, their bond was severed for good. When he was 20, he met her at a party. Though she was 8 years older, she was gentle and attentive. She even gave up billion-dollar projects just to stay with him, and if his eyes lingered on a watch, she would buy it for him as a gift. She once swore to always answer his calls instantly, but now only he still remembered those words, dialing her for the last time. He never expected the call to connect, and what he heard broke him. He was nothing but a substitute for her first love. Even her best friend mocked him, because for a mere sprained ankle, she would spare no expense to care for her first love. When she took the phone and realized the truth was exposed, she panicked, rushing to explain she was only at a business dinner, but he had already decided to divorce. Before he could speak, her first love interrupted. He signed the papers in despair, packed up every gift she ever gave him, ready to return them all. The next day he told his mother, after divorcing he would go abroad. Just then a friend request appeared, from her first love. Once accepted he received a taunting photo. He asked what he wanted. The first love gloated. As long as he claimed to have a nightmare, she would stay with him 5 days straight, and the next second she texted, saying she would be away for 5 days. He finally saw her true face. 5 days later he packed for departure, but her first love barged into his home. He was stunned. The house password was their anniversary. The first love knew every detail of the house, even the names of the 2 turtles. They were his childhood pets. Suddenly it all made sense. She cared so much about the pets and decor, only because of the first love's shadow. Even the wedding photos. They had taken both Eastern and Western sets, just as she once told him, but those were the styles her first love wanted. When she returned and saw the scene, she weakly argued they were just childhood friends. He turned and left. She said nothing, only asked her first love to wait for the medicine she brewed. Soon the first love handed him a cup, deliberately burning him. He went downstairs to find the first aid box. The first love followed, and pushed him down the stairs, then pretended to be injured too. She rushed over, seeing him bleeding heavily, but chose without hesitation to take the first love to the hospital instead. There he distracted her, smashing a glass to prevent her from checking on him. Watching her fuss over the first love for trivial things, the man's disappointment deepened. She began to sense something was wrong, and put on a worried face, bringing him water, but he asked directly if she could be honest with him. She swore she would never lie again. Yet on his discharge day, one call from her first love, and she abandoned him at once. He followed her, and found her trying to throw money at the problem, but the men declared her first love had touched another man's wife, and their boss had ordered his arm broken. She questioned him, but he brushed her off with a few words. The men moved in to cripple him, and at that critical moment, she stepped forward without hesitation, shielding her first love from disaster.